Hello and welcome to 18 WJTS in.form. Now, you may not be thinking about the Athena Awards because they'll be sometime in August, but it's time now for nominations. And joining us in the studio are two Jasper Rotarians. We have with us Julie Dutchess and also Dan Collignon. They are here to represent the Jasper Rotary Club to tell us about the Athena Awards, which you may or may not know is an award given to an outstanding woman in the community. And I think, first of all, let's talk about maybe why is the Jasper Rotary Club doing this, and how long have you done this?
Let me handle that one?
Yeah, why don't you,
Okay.
'cause since you were the one that started it.
So, trying to think what year it is. We're in year 9, I believe.
8.
8? Okay. This feels like longer.
Sure.
But 8 years ago, 9 years ago, the club was looking to grow its membership, and in particular, we were underrepresented in the female category as a club. We had 1 or 2 members out of 20. So we were consciously looking to grow the club's female representation. As a father of 2 girls only, no sons, I also was acknowledging the fact that we were not giving them good role models in the community as a public event, let's call it. Other events were acknowledging the men that were accomplishing things for the community, but there wasn't a signature event for female leaders. So to give my daughters an opportunity to see role models, I suggested to the club that we launch the Athena Dinner based on my previous life in other communities seeing the Athena work. So that's why we're doing it, to accomplish 2 things: provide our youth role models, as well as acknowledging the accomplishments of our females in our community.
And the Athena Award is a national program.
It's an international.
International.
Oh, international. Okay, so if you've heard of it before, and that's why, it's because it is an international. You've done this for 8 years that you've
This
given the
will
award?
be our 8th year.
Okay, so it's probably been 9 years of organization.
That's why my
Yeah.
years keep flipping.
Yeah, that's right, because he did actually get
We
it started in 2011.
And we started, it takes a year to run this event because, as we're going to talk about, it's a long
Yeah.
process. It's not just the dinner that night. So,
And we have you on in.form today because we want to talk about taking nominations.
Right.
But Julie, for you, why is it important that the Athena Awards exist here in Jasper?
Well, as Dan said, you know, it's that recognition, but we really need to make sure for our youth, for tomorrow, for our leaders who are growing up today in organizations, to be able to hear the stories that other women, their path, what they did, and every one of them's different. That's why I like the Athena Award, because we have finalists, and then we do have one recipient, but the finalists everybody gets to hear their stories, and they're all different, and they can all help us as we learn and grow as female leaders in the company.
I'm going to list,
Community.
I'm not going to put you on the spot. I'm going to
Okay,
list it
good.
myself. I'm going to read right off this list here. This is the past Athena Award winners. And then I'm going to mention a charity that they give money to. So before I do that, why is there a charity associated with the Athena winner?
well, it's a dinner, so we do charge money for people to attend. We try to keep the cost reasonable, but there was always going to be this excess funds laying around after the event. So we thought, well, what can we do with those funds that will be complementary to the event? So we let the recipient nominate a charity to receive the excess funds. So we provide 25% of the net proceeds to a charity of their choice, and then the club takes 75% and we give it to our charity of our choice. So that's all the funds raised that night go back into the community, either through the recipients or the club's wishes.
In the club, you pick a charity that you're going to give, or a nonprofit that you're going to make donations to for 3 years?
3 years.
Okay, and so where are we at?
I believe we're in year 2 of our partnership with the Department of Natural Resources, and we are providing reimbursement money to buy safety equipment for youth on their ATVs. A couple of years ago, the Indiana government decided that every youth under 18 should be wearing safety equipment on ATVs, as well as adults. But it's really encouraged on the youth, so we're providing funds for helmets, gloves, chest guards, shin guards, boots. If you need safety equipment and you take the DNR safety exam or safety course online, we'll provide funds to buy that equipment.
Excellent. Okay. And then each of the winners will have a donation that will go to their charity of choice. So here we go. 2012, it was Jane Chappell, and she chose Mentors for Youth.
Hey, Bill,
Yes.
if people are watching this now, I like to visualize sometimes the award and maybe who won it or who's been part of it. So when you think about leadership, community involvement, and helping other women grow, when you read these names, I think people will recognize, that makes sense. Who can I nominate?
Okay, yeah, so keep that in mind as we go
Yeah,
through this list.
sorry.
Right, excellent. No, that's perfect. So 2012, Jane Chappell with Mentors for Youth. 2013, Brenda Stallings, Junior Achievement. 2014, Kathy Treader, Crisis Connection. Nancy Eckerly was 2015, and she chose Freedom Reigns. 2016, Connie Noss chose the Teen Outback. 2017, Tanya Heim chose Girls on the Run. And in 2018, Kim Messmer had half of it go to Mary Kay Foundation and half of it to Crisis Connection. So that's neat that not only is somebody recognized and set up for people to admire and honor for what they've done and also to reflect on what they can do to be like them, but you're also helping out a local charity.
Absolutely.
That's excellent.
And at that award night, then they explain why they chose that charity. So it really is another way for people in the community, young women, leaders that are trying to grow, to think, oh, I never thought about helping out a community service event. And so I think it's another way that people can learn from those who come before them what good things they can do in the community.
So I guess now the thing is, how do we nominate somebody? But maybe before we get into that, how does somebody accept that nomination? Because I mean, a lot of people are very humble. And that nomination, while it's an honor to them, it's kind of embarrassing.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know why people are like that, but we are. What can you say so if you're thinking of nominating somebody, you shouldn't surprise them. Let them
Absolutely. Don't surprise them. Really go to them and let them know why you think they deserve to be recognized in our community. So don't surprise them. Work with them on the form together. It's really it's 3 pages, but it's one question at the top. It's open-ended. What about your leadership? And talk about the things you've done and get other people involved in it, because you and the person who nominated you may not know everything. You know, people come to me, you know, from years of being in business and say, oh, I remember when you did this. And, you know, I don't remember, because you don't take account of everything that you do.
And you weren't doing it to get credit.
No.
You were doing it because it's what you do.
Yeah, and so the more people that you can help put your story to paper, because that story is what's going to resonate to the folks later. But that's how you get the nomination form going, and that's the only way we can even score the nomination, is if it really touches all 3 areas and gives enough information in there about what you've done, what the results may have been when you did things, and that's really the only way we can be successful in scoring as well.
And
but there's 3 questions. It's what have you done in your career/leadership? What have you done in your community involvement? And then what have you done to elevate other women or women in general to a higher level or to reach their full potential?
Yeah, and it
So
says
it's
be specific.
Yeah, it's 3 very general questions, but it's a very simple process. So,
and we don't want people to think that you should be nominating yourself. You can do that.
You can do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it may just be something, because you're so humble that it's so something as, yes, you may nominate me, but I don't want to have anything to do with it. You do it yourself. That's fine too, because somebody can nominate and fill out a form for somebody. But
Sure.
it helps if you know more.
It really does help, because it really doesn't do you justice if one person sees one side of your life.
And can you be renominated? Because there have been numerous women who have been nominated in the past. Can they be renominated?
Absolutely. They can be renominated unless they've been the recipient.
That's the one caveat
So if
we
you
have.
won, you're out.
Right.
Yeah. And that's the Athena International rules, and so
Sure.
that's what we try to follow, and that's the forms we use. It's not something we created. It's something that over 8,000 people have been recognized for Athena International in over 500 communities worldwide. So we're no different. We're just using the exact same forms and But we just have different people, and we have great leaders in our community.
And they need to be recognized.
Absolutely.
And if nothing else, just a nomination for a lot of people is monumental. They don't need to win. They just, you know, it's nice to be nominated or appreciated, I guess, in that case.
Yeah.
Is the form online? How easy is it to get the form?
It's as simple as typing www.jasperrotary.com.
And it's right there.
Red banner at the top.
Red banner at the top.
Just click on the red banner, and there's a fillable PDF or Word document of your choice.
Yeah.
They're identical, so you just use the one you want.
Now, while it's hard to believe, there are people who do not like the internet and won't do it that way. Can they get a form another way? Have somebody else print it off for them maybe, and they can fill it out by hand and mail it?
Yes.
Absolutely, because one form is you fill it out by hand. The other one, we did fix it up for people who do like to just type the information in on the document. And, you know, for many of us, I know that when I was nominated, Scott Solomon said to me, "Hey, Julie, will you fill out what you know about yourself?" And which is a good way to start it, because then it let me think through my career and think through the times from the very beginning when I was just part of the company, which is good to be. Everybody has to be part of the company, to where I learned and grew through the company and called myself then a leader for the organization. You don't have to be at a top level to be a leader in your company. And you don't have to be at a top level to be nominated for this award.
Well, I know in the years past, a lot of the nominees, it's been a widespread. It's
Absolutely.
been retired teachers, it's been current teachers, it's been business leaders, business owners, church leaders. It's been a wide variety. So just if you feel they should be nominated, nominate them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Is there a fee?
No.
To nominate? No. There is no fee to
fee.
nominate.
And you don't need to worry about getting a picture or anything like that?
No.
All you really got to do is just fill out that form and send it in.
Correct.
Yeah.
Now, there's a deadline. When do these forms have to be in your hands?
May 1st is the deadline for nomination forms. That'll give us basically 15 days as a committee to evaluate them and score them, so that around the May 15th we can announce the finalists for that year's event.
Okay. And if I were nominating Julie, is it okay for you to also be nominating Julie?
Yes, we've had
doesn't have to be coordinated.
We've gotten nomination forms on the same individual from 2 different people.
Okay.
So that's great.
Okay, so just get it done. Look around the community, and there are people who have helped you. There are people who you have seen help others, and you don't even really have to know them that well. If you just feel that they're made an important difference in people's lives, nominate them.
I mean, Bill, one year, I won't mention her name, but all I got in the mail was a letter from a person saying she saved my life. You know, from a point of suicide. That was the letter I got in the mail. Not the nomination form, just a handwritten note explaining what this person meant to her and how it impacted her personal life. So then we took that letter and reached back to the person's supervisor at her place of employment and said, we probably need to find somebody that's going to fill out this document for us so that we can score her on an apples to apples with everybody else. Because obviously she's doing great work in her life and in the community. So that's kind of the impactful, that's the stories, that's the things we see in the award process.
Okay, so now is the time to send in nominations. And then later we'll have you come back, we'll talk about the nominees, and then we'll have you come back and talk about the actual event.
Okay. It is a process, it's a great process, and it ends in that event on August 22nd at the Huntingburg Event Center. It's really been a place to be.
And again, the nomination forms are available now through May 1st, which is the deadline, and they're available at?
www.jasperrotary.com.
All right, jasperrotary.com. That's easy to remember.
That's easy.
That is easy.
If worse comes to worse, you could call one of these two.
That's right.
Absolutely.
And they'll get you
and
going
we'll
in the
get
right
you a hard
direction.
copy if you need it.
Yes.
If
All
that's what you
Now,
need.
we would be remiss if we're wrapping up. We do have sponsorship levels.
Yes.
And the 4 that we can't do this program without is the platinum level sponsors. So we like to acknowledge Memorial Hospital, Master Brand, Cabinets, Kimball Electronics, and German American Bank as the 4 companies that have been with us from day one, acknowledging these great women in our community.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you very, very much both for coming in.
Yeah.
Well, this has been WJTS Inform. We'd like to thank our guests, Julie Dutchess and Dan Collignon. They are with the Jasper Rotary Club. Please make sure you make a nomination for the Athena Awards by May 1st. This is WJTS Inform. We are local people watching local people.